Hello, my name is Scott Davis, and welcome to New World Birth. This is the care and feeding of New World Age report for the Gregorian date of May 6, 2016, and 1 Ab or Road in the Mayan Zolkin calendar, with the Taurus New Moon and Jupiter turning direct. May 6 is 1 Ab or Road, and it carries the themes of destiny, guidance, travel, vessel of time, dew from heaven, abundance, organization, caretaking, empathy, growth, service to others, the ladder that connects heaven and earth, the life force, also known as prana in the Vedic tradition and chi in the Chinese culture, harvest and humility. And Ian Lungold described road as sometimes referred to as the sign of grass, which is the most bountiful of all life forms, but also the most humble. The road of life leads us to our true destiny on the spiritual path we all must travel. This 13-day period would be a good time to humbly offer service to others. And before I get into the daily energy for 1 Ab or Road, on the 6th, all the planets appear to be moving forward from our perspective here on the Earth, with the exception of Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, which are appearing to be moving retrograde or in reverse motion. And remember, the themes of retrograde planets are the review of the past, reevaluate, reminisce, and we can see these themes being played out. And with 5 planets retrograde, everything feels like it's moving very slowly. So patience is its own reward. Mercury turned retrograde on April 28th, and it turns direct on May 22nd. So this trisena would be a good time to avoid signing contracts or other legal papers, making any major purchases, or even taking a new job. If you can postpone these types of activities, the terms will be much clearer after Mercury is moving direct. Mercury retrogrades force us to slow down and pay attention to our lives by making us focus on the details of our daily experience. When we look at the retrograde cycle of any of the personal or inner planets, it provides information about a correction to our present course. And then we've got Mars retrograde, and it represents drive and aggression in Sagittarius. It's in Sagittarius, but it's going to retrograde back into Scorpio, the sign of its traditional rulership, on May 27th. Retrograde Mars in Sagittarius has us reviewing our drives related to our beliefs, and then in Scorpio, the ethics of our actions will be reviewed. Retrograde Mars can cause frustration as our energy to get things done is retarded, which can lead to irritability and aggression. And of course, Mars is also the planet of sexuality. So when Mars is retrograde, it's really not the time to begin a sexual relationship. So if you're becoming romantically involved with somebody, you may want to wait until Mars turns direct to consummate that relationship. And then we've got Jupiter retrograde. Jupiter was the king of the gods, and the planet is about good fortune, opportunities, faith, religion, beliefs, and expansion. Jupiter's in Virgo, and Virgo is about organization, health, and service. Mostly what I find with Jupiter retrograde is with any retrograde cycle, there's a review of the past. And with Jupiter, what gets reviewed are missed opportunities. And then we've got retrograde Saturn in Sagittarius, which delays success until perseverance and patience are learned. Sagittarius themes are travel, education, adventure, and expanding our horizons and planning for upcoming experiences. Saturn brings details to the grand overview of Sagittarius. Saturn retrograde is really a taskmaster that demands that we take responsibility to review our beliefs while it's in Sagittarius. And then we've got Pluto, the planet of transformation through death and rebirth cycle, and it's retrograde. So again, reviewing the past. So this is a time of releasing anything from the past as a burden to our new path. Pluto represents death, completion, and in Capricorn, it really brings a breakdown of structures to bring about transformation. And the big change during the road trisena is Jupiter changing directions as it moves direct on the 9th, which brings more opportunities and possibility for expansion. This also helps us as the number of retrograde planets then moves to 4, and then it will be 3 as Mercury turns direct during the next Trisena, the Serpent Trisena. But there's been a lot of hype regarding having 5 planets retrograde, but this is really not an uncommon experience, particularly during the summer months when we have the outer planets are retrograde. So let's look at the daily vibrational energy of this Trisena. May 6th, again, is one ebb or road. This is about unity experience through serving our community in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. And we've got the Taurus New Moon as it merges with Venus, the Sun, and Mercury, and is in harmony with Neptune, and supported by Jupiter and Pluto, which influences the new moon with people feeling cheerful, warm, gregarious, and wanting to go out and socialize, followed by being very sensitive to the moods of others, then feelings of inner and outer equanimity, followed by the feeling on a deeper, more intense level, and finally positive energies for integrating our thoughts and moods. And the new moon Mercury conjunction forms a grand trine with Jupiter and Pluto, which is very positive energy, and with no squares or oppositions to this lunation that limit its benevolence. This is a calming new moon. Taurus is a fixed earth sign that brings grounding energy and wants to find stability. New moons bring the opportunity to set an intention for manifestation on the following full moon. You want to look at the house of your astrology chart that contains 16 degrees, 41 minutes, almost 17 degrees Taurus, to consider what area of your life is being activated by this new moon. For me, that would be my 11th house of hopes and dreams, but also friends and groups. So I would set an intention related to using this energy for furthering dreams and friendships. The new moon in Taurus is about security, practical concerns, money, land, real estate, and our physical bodies. I'm not going to be covering the daily lunar activity in these reports other than new and full moons, but that information is available in the daily New World Birth Facebook posts and also on the blogger New World Birth blog. The 7th is to bend or read or corn, duality experience through maintaining the home. And at this point, we have the Sun in a trine to Pluto. So from our perspective here on the Earth, the Sun is forming a 120-degree angle with Pluto, which brings very intense, powerful experiences which may illuminate our deepest psychology and darkest, normally unseen mental realms. This is great transformational energy for investigation into the parts of our lives that should be reformed. This transit illuminates our motives and is great for studying our inner workings. People are more likely to express themselves more forcefully, which can make an impact on someone. Be careful of folks who use this energy for ruthless or selfish purposes. The best use of this energy is for your own personal growth and evolution. May 8th is 3 Ish or Jaguar, and this is about taking action through enjoying nature in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. The 9th is 4 Man or Eagle, stability through seeing from a higher perspective. And on this date, that's when Jupiter turns direct, meaning that it begins moving forward from our perspective here on the Earth, after appearing to move in reverse since early January. The retrograde is our times of reviewing, and Jupiter is about opportunities. So this shift from people looking back on missed opportunities as they move forward into a more expansive future. And again, Virgo it brings a time of expansion to service and organization, as well as opportunities for healthy changes. Also on the 9th, we have Venus in a sextile to Neptune. So from our perspective here on the Earth, Venus is forming a 60-degree angle to Neptune, inspiring creative and a romantic imagination. This is very nice energy between the planet of romantic love and her higher octave planet of unconditional love. This might be a time when we experience universal love through our personal relationships. This could be very creative and imaginative energy that seeks and appreciates beauty. So exposure to art, music, or poetry could help renew our consciousnesses during this pleasant, dreamy fog of this transit. It's also being in pleasant environments, such as a beautiful spot in the country, or a lovely garden, or looking at a majestic view would also be very powerful during this transit. Neptune gives us deeper sensitivities to the feelings and needs of our loved ones, which we are more than likely going to want to satisfy. Some people may have feelings of a soul union with another during this alignment. This is a good day to indulge in daydreams and fantasies. And then also on the 9th, the Sun is conjunct Mercury. So they're at the same degree of Taurus, 19 degrees Taurus, which, prior to turning retrograde, Mercury appears to be way out in front of the Sun. And then it turns retrograde and retrogrades back to conjoin the Sun. Then it falls behind the Sun. And prior to mechanized warfare, generals would send their cavalry out ahead of the infantry to scout the enemy's location, find possible resources, as well as the lay of the land, to move troops with maximum efficiency, safety, and to their strategic advantage. And so when I think of Mercury, when it's stretching out in front of the Sun, it's like it's gathering intelligence to report back to our consciousnesses during its conjunction with the Sun. And I'm hoping to illustrate this using these two markers here. So we're going to, they're connected with a rubber band, and Mercury is represented by the black marker, and the Sun is represented by the red marker. So out here, we have Mercury stretching out in front of the Sun as it's moving past the Sun, and then when it's way out in front of the Sun, it becomes easier to become overwhelmed by the increase of new information that seems to have no place to be deposited. And this can increase our anxiety and sense of losing control. And then as Mercury retrogrades, the tension decreases until it merges with the Sun, which occurs on May 9th, finding a destination for the intelligence that is gathered. And then once it starts to drop behind the Sun, Mercury feels this is creating a drag that retards the possibility of implementing the new data until it then regains its forward motion in its pursuit of the Sun on May 22nd. And then May 10th is 5 Men or Eagle. This is about stability through seeing from a higher perspective, and we have Venus in a trine to Jupiter. So from our perspective here on the Earth, Venus is forming a 120-degree angle with Jupiter, which is one of the best transits, except for its short duration. It brings ease, grace, pleasant social interactions. As with any Jupiter-Venus transit, it can also bring laziness and self-indulgent behavior. Most will experience this as a needed break from the daily grind. This is great energy for social interactions, entertainment, and amusement. Romance and financial interests are favored under this transit, along with traveling and taking a vacation that begins at this time, as it indicates a journey that will be fun, enlightening, and rewarding. Due to the low energy of this transit, it may not be the best time to start any enterprise that requires a great deal of energy. The 11th is 6 Kaban, or Earth, which is about being in the flow through our gratitude for Mother Earth in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. May 12th is 7 Etsnob or Flint, reflection through being introspective, with Mercury in a trine to Pluto. So from our perspective here on the Earth, Mercury is forming a 120-degree angle with Pluto, which can bring concern about the deeper issues in life. This is about people wanting to dig below the surface to uncover mysteries. On a personal level, this can be excellent for inner work, so it might be a good day for some alone time to discover some of the deeper dimensions of your psyche. Communications may seem rather serious and profound. Thoughts will be more focused and gain insight about important developments. And the 13th is 8 Kawak or storm. And this is about balance through recognizing the gifts of adversity. And at this point, we have Mercury retrograded back a little bit more, so that it is now conjunct Venus in Taurus, which stimulates our appreciation of beauty, whether it's art, poetry, music, people, or nature. In Taurus, people may be more likely to be practical in expressing their love for others. This merging of the mental and emotional realms within ourselves. So people may experience concepts with emotions or express feelings in an intellectual manner. This is wonderful energy for creating any type of artistic expression. This transit can be favorable for financial and business dealings, along with scientific research, by seeing the patterns in the universe and appreciating them aesthetically. Also on the 13th, Venus is in a trine to Pluto. So again, from our perspective here on the Earth, Venus is forming a 120-degree angle with Pluto, which is a day when you might hear from or contemplating contacting a former lover. With Pluto involved, it intensifies our emotional expression as emotions come to the surface that can now be meaningfully expressed to your loved ones. This alignment deepens our emotions and can make relationships feel more intense. It's quite likely that people will love more strongly under this transit and express these feelings to the object of their affection. Sexual desire also increases under a Venus-Pluto connection. This is not an intellectual experience, but rather love expressed through mind, body, and emotions. This transit can produce powerful insights and reveal the inner workings of our relationships. Beginning a relationship during this transit indicates that the connection will be quite intense, as if being drawn together by some magical power. It can be be a good relationship as long as the couple recognizes that the compulsive quality will wear off before the pairing solidifies into a long-term relationship. This transit is great for artistic work because the emotional intensity characteristic can be harnessed into work that reveals the inner depth of the artist's soul. May 14th is 9 Ahau or Sun. Patience experienced through honoring the wisdom and memory of our ancestors in the Mayan Soul King calendar. The 15th is 10 Imish or Crocodile, which is about manifestation through nurturing new beginnings. With the Sun sextile Chiron, this illuminates our wounds to allow healing. May 16th is 11 Eek or Wind, which is about resolution through communication in the Mayan Zolkin calendar. The 17th is 12 Akbal or Night, understanding through contemplating the stars. And May 18th is 13 Khan or Seed or Lizard, movement to the next stage through planting seeds and making new connections in the Mayan Soul King calendar. So no matter what energies are affecting you during the One Road Trisena, take some time to be in the flow of the planet by being in nature or watching a sunrise or sunset, communing with the stars, or being conscious of the moment through introspection, meditation, or being truly connected with somebody you love. Every day is a blessing, no matter what the dramas are that beckon to distract us. I believe we're all here giving the performance of a lifetime on this world stage. Just take some time to observe your play as well as acting your part by remembering you're a spiritual being that's having a human experience. I want to thank you for checking out New World Birth. The next segment of Care and Feeding of a New World Age will be on March 19th for one Chichan or Serpent, with the Sun entering Gemini, Mercury turning direct, Venus entering Gemini, and Mars backing into Scorpio. You can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, or the Mayan Magics website. There are New World Birth presences in all those places. And I encourage you to share this information as videos or as text as widely as you choose. And as always, I invite you to contact me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com if you have any questions or wish to schedule a reading. And I am providing readings and wish to make this service available to the greatest amount of folks, so I've created 3 options with 3 levels of compensation. And if you've been thinking about getting a reading, please contact me. I would love to provide you a reading during these uncertain times. You'll need to be able to either call me in Maine in the USA, or we can connect with Skype to receive your reading. We're also accepting donations to keep these reports freely available. As I said before, you can either email me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com if you wish to make a donation, or of course, getting a reading is another way to support us here, and you get something of value for yourself, as well as supporting us here at New World Birth. As always, I'm blessed that you've taken the time to connect with my passion for these ancient mysteries and their application to our journey during this incarnation. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste, in Lakesh, and I'm always grateful for your awareness of what we're doing here at New World Birth, and look forward to connecting with you in the future. All my best, everybody.